Welcome to another episode of the D Will Show. I am your host, D Will, and this is episode 139. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast YouTube channel at the D Will Show. Go subscribe. I have 130 plus episodes out there for you guys with former NBA players, overseas players, coaches, and more. So go be sure to go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, go like and follow the D Will Show wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Google. Also, ask that you guys give me 5 stars and share with your loved ones. You also can listen to the audio for all the podcasts, so go be sure to do that. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, 27 Horizon. Connecting your business to new horizons, contact 27 Horizon for all of your creative branding design needs and book them today. Oh, what is this about? My bad. And book them today to make your event one to remember with any DJ and photo services. DM 27 Horizon for more info. But tonight, I have a good one for you guys. I got a former Town Cat in the building. He was a 2021 Upstate 8 Conference MVP. He led the Tomcats to a 4A sectional state championship before the season was cut short due to COVID. He's a former T-Lap star who is currently redshirting at Charleston Southern University right now. Y'all help me welcome to the show, Amarion Savage. Amari, what's up, bro?
Thanks
Man,
for
no, for sure. It's definitely an honor, man. I remember your days at East, man, when y'all was making some noise, man. I hate that y'all season got cut short, man. So, we had to tap in for sure.
yeah, it was unfortunate for sure.
For sure. Yeah, we're gonna tap into that. To start it off, Brody, for those that's not really too familiar with you, just take us through your upbringing and then we'll go from there.
So my upbringing, where you want me to start at?
Man, where you got started at hooping, as a child, stuff like that.
So I started really playing basketball because of my uncle, and
Okay.
everybody around me played basketball. It wasn't like really like the TV for me. It was like always in the backyard. I wanted to be like my older cousins or like my older brother. Like
Okay.
it started off that way. Like it was always me trying to beat them or like want to play with them, watching them play. So it was like that's what got me into basketball. And like from there, I started playing in tournaments, like getting to know people and everything. And I feel like through there, like I had a great experience with it. And I'm still going with it. And yeah,
For sure. Did you play any other sports coming up as a kid? Like when was that moment that basketball was the one for you?
nah, I didn't touch any other sport as a kid. Like
Okay. Okay.
that's I ain't touched no other sport. It was
Okay. So but I know you come from like a basketball family. Was it some competitive in the household for you?
it was always competitive. I ain't like that's where my competitive edge really come from. Like I ain't it was always my older cousins, my older brothers, my older friends. Like I wanted to beat them every time. So like that's where my competitive edge came from. Like just
For sure.
you
Was
know,
there a particular moment? Was there a particular moment in your career when you really realized like, all right, I'm really nice for hooping?
yeah, it was like fifth, sixth grade. I was like, probably know my goddad, Jay Thomas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I had my godbrother on here a couple of weeks ago. So we had a travel team. We was traveling all over the country, and he was already his resume. He was sixth in the country, and he was like, bro, like you don't even know how cold you is, like you know,
yeah,
country and like stuff like that. So like once we like started traveling, I was like killing and stuff. I was like, dang, like it is what it is. Like I'm really cold. So like I really started taking it serious from there. Like he was telling me like his experience and everything and how he wanted to like make it out with it. So like that's when I
yeah,
really take it serious. I heard him what that to me.
for sure. Coming up, who were you really learning the game from? Like, who were you watching? Rather than been like family wise, NBA player wise, like who were you really watching, trying to like take from their game?
Uh, I don't know. It was probably D Rose. It was
Okay.
on the TV. It was him, but like besides that, my uncle Tyrone had me in the gym like all the time.
Yeah,
Had me like working every fundamental, every part of my ball handling. Like that's what really like that's what really got me here for real.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, Coach Savage, that was my coach at East. I know he be with it, man, for sure. Um, Let me see where did I go. I read that you were originally going to play ball at Westerville. You know what I mean? Then you made the transition to East. What kind of led to the decision? You know what I mean, going from West to East.
I mean, I've kind of been like, I've been on the East Side like my whole life because my uncle, like, I always played with the feeder team over there, and I was like brought up over there, like in that gym. So once like came time for like high school and everything, like I wanted to go to West, but at the same time, like, I always knew I probably was gonna go to East either way. So once it like my freshman year, I didn't really play varsity or nothing. So my sophomore year, I was just like, it's time to like make that change because like I just wanted to go over there and be with my cousins and be with my uncle because like that was like family instead of like being on the West Side just playing basketball. You know, it was like a family decision. You know?
For sure. What was the biggest adjustment, making that transfer? Because anytime you transfer, you know what I mean, it's definitely an adjustment rather than been like the school style of play. What was the biggest adjustment for you?
Biggest adjustment for me was just like being away from my mom, being away from home. But yeah, it wasn't that far, but it was just like I wasn't living at the crib at the time, so that was my biggest adjustment. Like I had to like be by my not by myself, but like away from home at the time.
Yeah.
Away from home. Yeah.
Okay. So your freshman year, you were supposed to go to West, and then you transfer your sophomore year to East.
Yeah, I actually was at East. Like I was at West my whole freshman year. My sophomore year, we started off and we was like mid open gym and like going into like conditioning and everything. And like in the middle of conditioning, I just like told my mom. I went home and told like, Mom, I think I'm ready. Like I want to go. And I called my mom,
Yeah,
made it happen.
for sure. That whole process of transferring to East, you know what I mean, going to play with your uncle and stuff like that. What was your mindset going into pretty much walking into the shoes of your family, playing at East Aurora?
It was like big shoes for sure, but it was like new beginnings for me. I always like a new challenge and like I feel like God was gonna like open up new doors and like new opportunities. So I was ready for it, like regardless. So
Yeah. For your AAU career, can you take us through your AAU career? You know what I mean? Who did you play for, and like some of your high and low moments playing AAU ball?
uh AAU probably my highest moment was probably on that Rise team when we won Go Live tournament. It was like
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
little kids, but like I ain't gonna lie, that was like the best feeling because like we was like nobody knows this, but like that team, like we was like really working. Like it was time where I didn't even want to go to practice because we was running so much. Like had us real life like doing like crazy stuff. Like, I'm talking about bear crawls and all types of stuff. Like so many things. Like our my goddad was so passionate about us. Like he was like, y'all gotta work, y'all gotta do this. Like y'all the best team in the state. Like y'all the best team in the state. And he kept like going to war for us.
yeah,
But one time we played Rising Stars. It was like, okay, it's time to show in the state. We went out there, we lost by like 25. We was like, he was like he was more passionate than us at the time. Like, we ain't even,
yeah,
but like the next time we got to go to like a state tournament, it was the Go Live tournament. And everybody was there, and once we won that, like we finally like putting like we finally got our work's worth. You know,
yeah,
our high moment. That was my high moment because I was starting PG on that team, and I just like it just felt good. Like
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Who are some of like your toughest matchups coming up, like playing AAU ball? Who were some of the matchups where you was like, all right, man, it's gonna be a good matchup?
I say like it was always a good one. Tyrese Hunter at Texas right now. Patrick Baldwin played for the Wizards. That was a good game. Who was playing them? Like it was always at the tournaments. Seeing them, there was familiar faces for real. So we like played them a lot. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you get to, you know what I mean, you get to the East and you finally get to put on that Tomcat uniform. How does that feel for you putting on that Tomcat uniform, knowing that you really feel at home?
Yeah, it felt that's what it felt like. It felt like home. Like that was like I was seeing like all my family members come around to the games now around that time, man. Like it felt like home again. Like I was playing with my cousins again that I've been playing with since I was kids. Like all the boys that I grew up with, like all the guys that was on the feeder team, like it was like home.
Yeah.
Like where I grew up at. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was like it definitely felt like home like quick when I was there.
for sure. When you finally got that matchup to play against West Aurora, how were you feeling? How were you thinking mentally? Like, all right, man, nah, I'm gonna play against West. I gotta go to work on them. Tell us about that matchup. All through high school, just playing West Aurora.
So playing West Aurora, like I ain't gonna like the first time we played them, we were out. Like I don't know if you noticed, but when I first transferred to East Aurora, we
Hmm.
were ineligible. So I sat the first 10 games of the season.
Damn.
My first game back was against West Aurora, and I played terrible that game. Like I ain't play like myself.
So this
I,
is your
I,
sophomore year, right?
yeah, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous a little bit. And like I don't, they killed us that game, and
Yeah,
we played them again that year. They beat us again, but we was like having chemistry issues because like everybody was getting released at like different times. So I give them to them, but like once I got to like settle in at East and like that summer, that sophomore like summer after sophomore year, when I got in the gym and I was like, I ain't going for no more of that. Like no one gonna embarrass me like that again.
yeah.
We played them again. I ended up having pneumonia at the time, so it was my first game back. I only had like 14, but then we played them in the playoffs. Like I was like, okay, yeah, it's my time. I'm gonna kill them. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So your junior year is really where you really felt like you were established, in your high school career.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Take us through, just your whole high school experience. How was it, playing for your uncle? Like I said, you playing varsity now. You feel like you really settled in a little bit. Just take us through that whole high school experience. I know that like your senior year, you guys made it to the sectionals championship game where you guys beat West actually, right? Y'all beat West that year, right? To
Yeah,
go down.
yeah.
Okay. And then, it come out, we have the pandemic. Just take us through that whole, 2 years of high school for you after that.
Oh yeah. That year, that year was kind of up and down because we had the talent, but like we ain't even know like how good we was for real. Like I like nobody knows about that team, but like we wasn't coming to practice. Like guys wasn't showing up to class. Like we was basically just like coming to like games and like let's hoop, let's hoop.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it weighed, like it definitely took a toll on us because like we wasn't as good as we supposed to be record wise, but like we had all our pieces. We was cold, but yeah, it was a time like where it was coming crunch time. We started to lock in a little bit, and like uh we was like top of the conference, and like we had the conference game. And I remember that game because we had lost it, but like East Aurora ain't won nothing in years, so like the whole city came out to the conference game, and
yeah, yeah,
we went out there, and like we wasn't even ready for like what we was gonna do yet. Like we didn't know what we was doing yet. Like we just seen the crowd and was like, dang, like why is everybody here like this? Like what is we doing to make them come like that?
yeah,
Like we went out there, and we ain't played like we played selfish. We ain't play how we was supposed to. I ain't step up. I know other guys feel like they ain't step up, so we lost, and like our whole crowd there was a disappointment. And I remember that day in the locker room, we was like, "Oh yeah, we got to lock in." Like I know a couple guys was crying or whatnot, so like we went to. I remember that day. After that, I called Coach Starwood. We got in the gym that whole week, and then by the time it was coming to like get to that state time, like we played OE, and we was locked in. That whole week of practice, we was locked in because we knew they was gonna come out again because they seen something in us. So once we won that section, we just felt like we did it for the community. Like that's what I felt like in my heart. I feel like I did it for the community.
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. Like you said, East hasn't really won anything in like a long, long time. So for East to be back on that map, you know what I mean. That town had to come out and support y'all. Um, but to piggyback off of that, you end up winning the conference MVP. And I
yeah.
know you spoke about when you guys lost, you called Starwood. It was like, all right, we need to get in the gym. What were your main factors in getting in the gym? Like, what were you trying to work on to pretty much get locked in for the rest of the season?
Basically, just like staying consistent with my work. Like basically, not taking no days off. Like I called Starwood, like he basically was like you inconsistent. Like he was always gonna keep it real with me. So I called him and we just talked, we chatted, we talked about the game and whatnot. Cause he seen something in me I didn't even see it myself. So once we got back in the gym, we got back locked in. it was over with. Like he was like, you gotta stay on your work, you gotta stay on top of that skill work. Like he was teaching me the game that I couldn't even see, like with all the moves and stuff I was doing. Like, yeah, he was keeping me consistent with my work. And once I stayed consistent, it was over with.
For sure. How did you guys, like you as being one of the star players on the team? How did you will your team in, and you know what I mean, to get that far? You know what I mean? Like teams like that where like the chemistry's off, not everybody is focused. How did you will your team back in and be like, all right, man, we gotta keep going. You know what I mean? Before COVID, shut down the year.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I tried 100 times, and them guys like they were hard headed.
Yeah,
Hard headed. But the time we locked in, I didn't have to tell them to lock in. They was locked in. You know what I mean? Like they was locked in, and it made me lock in even more because when I see my guys locked in, like we was locked in. Sure. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they was locked in already. So I ain't even had to tell them at that time. Like they knew what it was after we lost that game. But like the season wise, you couldn't get those guys to lock in for nothing.
for sure, for sure. What does it mean to you to know that, like, I think you guys are like the last team to make history? You know what I mean? How does that make you feel? What does that mean to you, knowing like you one of the last teams to be a part of history in East Aurora?
Uh, it means a lot. Like I got something I can share. Getting back to them now, like the people that like look up to us and like watched us that were kids at the time. Like I feel like I got something to give back now. Like that's really the part of it, just giving back what we did and sharing
Yeah,
it with like the people under us. So yeah.
for sure. When you guys got the news that IHSA was suspended the rest of the season, you know what I mean? How did you feel when you got the news? Where were you at when you heard it? Just take us through that, that vulnerable moment for y'all, knowing that, you know what I mean, you really couldn't cherish more history that you wanted to.
Yeah. We had practice that day and we had just beat West, so we was like in practice. We was still locked in, but like we was goofing around a little bit. I think we had film, and this is a true story. I'm not like it's a true story. We had film, and like we high school kids, we ain't really want to watch film. We were just like
Yeah.
talking and that whatnot. And then Coach Pat seen that we wasn't locked in and was like, "Hey, like I need y'all to lock in. Like I know y'all got something good going on, but like you never know. Like this can all get taken away from you. Y'all gotta always be grateful. Like um,
Mm,
what was his last words? He said, "You never know. Like when you'll play organized basketball again, like take these times and cherish them and like lock in." And like he left it at that and let us go home. And we ain't think nothing of it. We on the way riding home, and I, I'm dropping Julian off at home, and Teron sitting next to me. He one of the seniors. I was a junior. I let Julian out the car, and then I checked my phone, and on Snap, everybody had the same picture. So I'm like, what's going on? And I checked it. It says IHSA has like canceled the season, and I showed Teron. I showed Teron, and he was crying like the whole way home. And yeah, it got taken away from us fast, but like it was a memorable experience for sure.
for sure. Do y'all feel like y'all wish y'all would have listened to Coach more and really cherished it more from the beginning? Like, all right, man, like nobody really knew the pandemic. Well, like we knew it was out there, but we didn't think it was gonna come as fast as it did. Do you guys wish that you really would have locked in and cherished it more? You know what I mean? Knowing that that was coming?
Yeah, for sure. Like those was like good memories. We had the whole city out. Like those times we still call and talk about that for hours and stuff like that. Like yeah, I really wish we could have like had more time to like relive
Yeah,
everything because like those were some good times for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like they always said, man, when you in high school, cherish it, man, because when you get older, you gonna wish you can go back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to live by, man. Um, for you, how was the recruiting process for you? Like when were schools really starting to reach out to you and and be on alert about, you coming to their programs?
Uh, it was really after my junior year because with COVID knocking it off like that took like a toll on my recruitment. And then senior year, um, I don't know if you know, but like we had like played in like Indiana at the time.
Okay.
Chicago Sports played in Indiana at the time, and Yeah, before then, I played in a Pango showcase, and I did really well. And I got some schools calling like, um, what was that school? Niagara, Miami, Ohio. They was reaching out to me at that time, but then like the transfer portal opened up, and then like I didn't hear from them again because they was gonna take the older guy. And
Yeah.
then Hammond came out. I guess that was the time where I really started getting like real looks because we was in the city and I was playing with my own team, and I had got like Southern Indiana reached out, and yeah, that was it. But that was the time where like I really like blew up because I was like catching bodies and stuff, and people was like catching on to me at the time because like I didn't really like going to the city because I feel like they always have their favorites and whatnot. Like it's all about what you know, and like I don't really know nobody out there. So once I got
Yeah.
out there, it was like different. I really started to blow up, so it was good.
Yeah. When you ultimately made your choice of, going to, going to school, what were some of the main factors that you were looking for, you know what I mean, when you committed to where you were going?
Um, I just wanted to like go to like a good program, somewhere that like I could see myself fit in with the players and like the community, the like the brotherhood. And I don't think you noticed, I went to Eastern Washington before I went to Charleston Southern. And
Okay. Okay.
T Lab right out of high school, and then from T Lab I committed to Eastern Washington, and then
Okay.
before I got Charleston Southern. But when I was in like my first commitment, Eastern Washington stood out to me because like the guys had like high character, like the coaches was nice, like the coaches was like keeping it real, and it was like basically like they made it a brotherhood right away, and like we was
Got you.
cohesive. We was like we stayed together, and like on my visit, I seen it. Like even with like playing with them like right away, like I just knew that it was like a brotherhood. Like we all like connected well, and that's what I wanted. Like I wanted to be somewhere I felt safe and like I feel like I had a brotherhood again. Cause like I seen a lot of programs where it was just like it looked like everybody had their own agenda. So like just being somewhere where I could grow and like um have like older people like looking after me and like really like taking me as like their little brother was like something I was looking forward to. And my mom like flew down there with me and like we was talking to the coaches and they like embraced us as a family. So I appreciated that when I took my first visit. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So after you graduate from East, you do a prep year. That was a prep school. T Lab is prep, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How was that adjustment? You know what I mean? How like the just like the style of play, knowing that you playing like pretty much the next level after high school to get to where you want to go. What were some of the adjustments you had to make playing prep ball?
Basically the coaching. The coaching there is like it got me like opened up to like the new world of coaching because like
Okay.
he coached like a college coach and like everything was strict, everything was like come on, let's go. So like I feel like I got used to college right there because like I had to be hard on myself. He was hard on me. I feel like I got opened up to like a real coach at that
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
to my goddad. So yeah,
Okay.
that was a
Okay.
good adjustment from, especially for being away from home too. Like you can't go cry to your mom, you can't go cry to your pop. You gotta
Got to grow up now.
yeah.
Okay. I read that you had, I think you averaged like, I think you had like 17 and 8 or something like that. I might be off a little bit. Your scoring wise there. How was the rest of that season, playing for that prep school? And, what was your thought process after the fact? Were you always thinking, okay, I'm gonna do 1 year prep and then go? Like, what was your mindset to do all of that?
Yeah, it was basically just get the year that was like, bro, you
Okay.
took away from me. I just wanted to get that back. So I wanted to do 1 year and go. So
Okay.
yeah, that was my thought process the whole time. That's what I when I talked to him on the phone. That's what he said, and we
Okay.
agreement coming in. So I was stuck on that.
Okay, bet. And then you ultimately committed to Eastern Washington right after that. How did that come into play? You said they had been talking to you during high school, and then once you did the prep year, then they kind of was like, okay, come on now. Like, how did that work?
Uh, yeah, there was Coach Ormond. He was talking to me before he went to Eastern Washington. He always knew me as a kid. He coached me,
Okay,
so he always knew who I was and whatnot. So once I was supposed to go to the elite camp my senior year, but I didn't end up going. And then
okay,
he just kept recruiting me and kept looking after, kept his ear out for me. And once I was like at Eastern Washington, like he like tapped in with me, asked how I was doing, and asked my coach about me and everything, and then he liked what he heard, and I went out there for an unofficial visit first, and then um, they kept watching my film, and then they called me one time. I was home. Actually, I was like home from T Lab, and like it was the summer, and I didn't know where I was gonna go yet. And I got that call, and they told me that they was gonna bring me an official visit, and then my mom flew out there, and I committed.
Okay. Okay. What was the biggest adjustment from T Lab to Eastern Washington? You know what I mean? I know you had to make the jump from high school to prep. What was it now going to a school like Eastern Washington?
Uh,
Um,
the competitiveness, like Eastern Washington that year, we was the what was it? We had the longest streak in Division One basketball. Like so, we was competitive. Like every day, every rep, you was gonna get another guy just like you, like just as good. And I was young, and they was older, so that
yeah,
was
yeah,
it was like you either come with it or you are gonna get exposed that day. So that was my biggest adjustment. I'm coming from places where like I can get away with certain stuff because it's my age group. I can kill them. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
They
yeah.
used to killing them. But like at Eastern, like they held me accountable of like being, and especially because like I had like the older guys looking after me, like I was their little brother. So yeah, it was like just taking that next step for real.
Okay. And then you had the red shirt in that year, right?
Yeah,
Okay. What led to the decision of red shirting and then you end up transferring to where you're at now, right?
yeah.
Okay. Just take us through that whole process of just how hard it was to actually red shirt. Like I said, I know you want to play, you know, you got to deal with that, and then you end up transferring again. Like just take us through all that mental that you had to deal with, you know, going through all of that.
Yeah. So before the season, the guys was like a lot older than me. They recruited them for specific reasons, like they wanted them to start, and they already had like who they wanted coming in. And I was, and with the transfer portal, like they recruited them to come in and play. They recruited me to come in and like develop.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, like it was like I didn't want to redshirt. Everybody want to hoop, but like I feel like the guys made it easy for me. Like the older guys, like definitely like made it easy for me because like I remember our best player was a red shirt when he was a they
Okay.
for me. Like I definitely still felt like a part of the team, and I was traveling and everything. So like it was my role was basically like second team PG. So they made it easy for me for sure.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
they, they kept us a part of everything. I wasn't the only freshman red shirt. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a few y'all. Okay. What led to the decision, you know, of transferring out of there and committing to Charleston Southern University? Like, how did they come into play, and what went into the decision of transferring out of there?
Uh, yeah, I never really wanted to leave Eastern Washington. Like I just felt like my play style was different. I felt like
Okay.
if you ever watch like the Nuggets, they don't got a point guard facilitating and dropping dimes and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
they play in through the post and everybody else. So I felt like my play style would have fit better somewhere else. And
Okay.
that led to me that led to the decision of me transferring, and I just wanted to find a better fit, like basketball wise, not like anything else wise. So that's what led to my decision of transferring from there. But it wasn't nothing else that
Okay.
into that role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did Charleston get on the radar for you? Were they always one of them schools that was interested in you?
Uh, I got a call from them. I think one of my T Lab teammates committed there, and
Okay.
I got a call from them too. So like, I was weighing them on my options, and yeah, we had like we talked for a little bit during the recruitment process. Like they went away for a little, and they came back, and
Okay.
I liked what they had to say and everything. So I like took the offer, went on the visit, and I chose to commit here. Like me and my family talked about it really deeply, and yeah.
Okay. Okay. How's your experience been there so far? Like, how did you adjust to, you know, another different coach, you know, another different style of play? You know, how are you like pretty much settling in at Charleston Southern?
I mean, yeah, so it's kind of been crazy here too. Like we started off, I started off pretty well. I was getting close to everybody and whatnot. It was definitely different from me because Eastern Washington was like way more brotherhood than this, and
Mm.
I feel like when I came here, I was just getting comfortable with everything and getting myself like back in the groove and whatnot. And like we started off the season, and our coach decided to resign in the middle of the season. So
Oh, okay.
we have an interim head coach right now. So it,
Okay.
this experience is definitely like another one of those like experiences for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For you, you know what I mean? If you could give advice to maybe a kid that's younger than you that may go through, the things that you're going through right now with just the roadblock at the roadblock at the roadblock, what has been the best advice that you use that you can give to a kid coming up behind you?
The work has to stay consistent. That's the best advice I could say because you got the work has to stay consistent because God gonna open new doors and when the time's over with, like you're gonna get new opportunities and everything. So the work just has to stay consistent. You gotta stay ready for every opportunity that's gonna come your way. That's
For
what's
sure.
the biggest thing for me to get me where I am.
For sure. For you, how do you keep yourself maintained? Like, how do you keep yourself mentally strong and mentally focused and not, drift out into, things of life?
Uh, I just try to like pray, stay in the gym, and like limit my distractions. Basically, like I just like to like if I'm feeling any type of way, I'll go get in the gym. I'll just pray about it and like basically just keep my mind off the distractions and stuff like that.
Okay. For you, when just your day to day prepping, preparing, staying in shape. What goes into your day to day preparation? Just staying in shape and getting ready for games.
Yeah, my day to day, like staying in shape and stuff. I wake up, I got class. After class, I got lift, and I go to another class, and then, but like in between that, I'm like eating and doing all that stuff. But like, I go lift, and then we have practice, and after practice, so we lift at like 11, 12 ish,
Okay.
practice around 2 ish, and then we go to like 5 ish. So I'll go home, I'll get some food, go home, chill, and if I want to come back late now, I'll come back and get some shots up, just to
Okay.
everything. But our schedule pretty busy, so it's kind of hard to work around it sometimes.
Got you. Okay. Okay. For you, getting this far in your career, what has been the most embarrassing moment of your career, and what has been one of your highest moments of your career this far?
Most embarrassing. Uh, there's definitely a more embarrassing one, but I'll say first, first home game of my junior year, I made a wide open dunk. I remember that too. Like, I remember that too. I missed a wide open dunk.
What you try to do with one hand, little?
Yeah, I tried to one hand, then the ball went out of bounds. I tried to save it, and I was like, nah. It was one of them awkward walk backs too. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Okay.
That was one of the.
Okay. Yeah. What's been your high one? Your most enjoyable moment, throughout your whole career this far?
It was definitely the body I caught against Streamwood. That was the that was the best one for sure.
Take me through it. How'd it go?
Uh, so yeah, we played Streamwood that earlier like junior year, and that
Okay.
guy dunked on my teammate
Okay.
that year. So like it was always smack talk against them. And I remember one time they was talking crazy. Like I think they got a stop on me, and they was just talking crazy. And then it was like a possession where my cousin Julian, some dude said something to him. I was like, "Hey, bro, like don't talk to him like that. Like that's that, like that. Like we're gonna cut
Yeah.
that." And they was like talking crazy to us. Like I don't remember what they were saying, but they was like going at my little cousin. So I'm like, "Nah, do that." And then I remember like driving past to the rim. I tried to lay it up, and he blocked it. I said, "Okay, like jump again. I'm dunking you." And I ran back down the court. And I guess like a couple plays went by. The ball was out of bounds. It was a false call, and we got the ball. And I came down the court, and I guess I sized him up at like half court, but I didn't even
Okay.
know I was gonna dunk it. It just came out of nowhere. Like I sized him up at half court. I blew past him, and I was like, nobody was there. I said, I'm dunking it, and he came and he jumped, and I put it on his head, and
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I had to do that. Like we ain't had no crowd there, so just imagine if it was a crowd there. But like my teammates were hyped and everything. Like it was a crazy moment for sure.
Man. To kind of pivot back a little bit, you kind of went over it a little bit, but I want to talk about it more because I think a lot of people didn't know that. I didn't know that. Um, so your senior year when COVID was going on, they moved all y'all games to Indiana.
No, that was for AAU type.
Gotcha. Okay. Got you.
Yeah,
Okay, but your senior year, how many games did y'all end up playing that year? They like cut the season in half, right?
yeah, it was like 10 games.
Okay, but then you guys still had playoffs and all that too, or no?
Yeah, we had like a couple of games. We had 10 games, and we had like a tournament at the end.
Okay, but like nothing like where you can go
Nah,
like to. Okay, got you. Okay, for you, bro, like I said, being this far in your career, what has been the biggest lesson that like basketball has taught you that carry into life?
um, through every disappointment, you just gotta keep going. Like life is full of disappointments, and through everything that like it throws at you, like you just gotta keep it going. Like you can't hold your head because the highs come with the lows, and everything comes together as one. Like you gotta just keep going. You can't get higher or too low. And that's what I try to like keep saying to myself through everything that goes on. Like the highs come with the lows. Like no matter what happens, like you just gotta keep going, keep your head on, keep your head up straight. And that's the biggest advice that I can say.
For, for sure. A1 game right there. A1 game right there. For you, when the ball does stop for you, whenever that is, a long time from now, but when the ball does stop bouncing for you, um, what are like some of your backup goals or dreams that you may have? Would you ever see yourself being a coach or trainer one day down the line when when you decide to hang it up?
Yeah, I definitely do see myself being a coach one day. I feel like that'd be fun, to be honest. Like just like being able to like see what my coaches went through, like the
Yeah,
stuff that goes on the court. Like I could actually see myself like being a coach one day, coaching kids and like giving back my experience. So yeah, that'd be something I'm really looking into after
bet,
after the ball stops bouncing for me. Yeah.
bet. Okay. For you, this far, like high school, growing up as a kid, high school and college, who are some of your toughest matchups? I know you kind of spoke on it earlier, but like, is it anybody like in college, or you kind of like, damn, he like that?
I didn't play him. I was redshirting, but the guy that starts on the Warriors now, Brandon Podziemski.
He tough.
We played him first game. He gave us 30 each one.
The redhead dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tough. He tough. He tough. For you in your prime, right now, well, you still in your prime, but like, who would be a 1v1 matchup that you would want? Like, if you could put somebody one on one right now, who would it be? It could be anybody.
Uh, I got a couple. Probably,
Okay. Call them out. Call them out. Talk your talk. Call them out.
I'll probably play Coach Starwood at his prime. He did beat me, but he can't.
Okay, bet.
I want to see Jay in his prime. And my uncle in his prime.
Okay.
That's about it. That's three one-on-ones I really would take like serious for real.
Oh, okay, bet. So you said if you get anybody your age, you need them OGs, the ones that was like that. You need to play them.
I want to see them. Like if I could play anybody that I can't play, I would play them. Like I would play them in their prime. Yeah.
Bet. Okay, bet. Talk your talk, bro. Talk your talk. Uh, for you, Brody, if you could listen to three musical artists for the rest of your life, or 3 hours, I'm sorry, three. No, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna do it different. If you could listen to five artists for the rest of your life, what five artists would you listen to and why?
Lil Baby, Gunna, Broadway, NBA young boy, and Lil Durk.
Yeah, yeah. I could tell you a young. You said all young dudes. You didn't say no Wayne, no no Kanye, no Jay-Z. Yeah,
Nah, I won't go with them. I'll probably go Drake though. Drake.
bet. Cuz said, you, you ain't gonna win a game. You play them. Skip said that. He's like, yeah, no, you calling out some OGs right there, bro.
Nah,
Um, for you, if you could have five dinner guests dead or alive to just sit at the table with and just pick their brain, anybody, who would be the five that you would have at your table that you would just pick their brain and learn from?
um, Kobe. I'll start with him. Uh, that's a tough one. Kobe, MJ, and Kobe, MJ, Ryan, Bo Ryan.
Ryan, Borat, okay.
Uh, and that's a tough. I know it's somewhere in there that I can't think of right now.
Man, you could do, family members that may have passed away, still living. You could do musical artists. You can do coaches. You can do teammates. You can do anybody.
I'll probably have. Nah, I don't know. Probably Curry and Dane. Probably
Okay, okay,
Dane right there.
okay. Scoring guards. I got you. I got you. If I was to tell you I can get you courtside tickets to any NBA game in NBA history, what game would you want to be at and why?
It had to be Game 7, Warriors versus Cavs.
Oh, yeah. Say no more. I don't even need no explanation on that one for
That,
sure. If I told you I can give you tickets to any former high school game all time, what game would you want to be at?
hmm, high school game. I'll probably say when Jay Thomas played Sean Livingston. I want to see that match a lot.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Damn, that's a good one. Okay. Um, for you, I need your personal top five NBA players of all time.
Allen Iverson,
Okay.
uh, John Moran, LeBron. I'm not a LeBron hater. I like LeBron. Kobe.
So LeBron, your goat then.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I kind of figured. Okay. So give me you said AI.
Curry,
Okay,
LeBron, and Kobe.
bet. Okay. My last one I got for you, Brody. I think I had your you said I had your family on before.
Yeah.
But if you could recommend somebody to come on my platform and kind of just, go through their story, that may help you, just tell your story. I may help the youngest coming up behind you. Who would you recommend to the show that you feel deserves to have their story heard?
Um, I would have to go Bryce Hopkins.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. You connected with him?
Yeah.
Bet, man, help me set that one up. I need him. I need him for sure. Bet. I appreciate you. But man, Brody, like I said, I just want to appreciate you taking time out to come onto my platform, man. Much success, in your upcoming years ahead of you in hooping and everything that you decide to do. Like I said, we want to appreciate you again, man, and the best to you, Brody.
Thank you. Let me take the time. I gotta shout out my mom. She told me I had to. So
For sure. Yeah. Shout out to my dudes, for sure.
for sure.
For sure. All right, Brody, man. Keep going, man.
Mm,
All love to you.
love.